Certified Cinephiles.
Take them out.
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 Certified
Hello.
Cinephiles.
Take them out.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Certified Cinephiles, the only movie podcast brought to you by Spite and Revenge, here to destroy the Hollywood elitist deep state. This week, we watched an underground cult classic. Will's favorite movie, is it not?
This movie, I know we've honestly, I've been putting off this movie because I've been so afraid of, knocking down my tiers of what the best movies are. And frankly put, I'm happy to say that this is definitely my favorite movie of all time. And that's not
incredible.
a decision I make lightly.
No. He's seen a lot of movies, probably about twice as many as I have.
I don't
So
know
that's
about
crazy.
that.
Yeah, I've seen 1 million. You've seen about 2 million. Don't be coy.
know about
But
that.
anyway, enough of this lead burying. This week we're watching a movie called Six String Samurai. It came out in 1998 through a little company, my favorite film studio, Palm Studios. You may know that some of their other work, like Third World Cop. It's a great one too.
Yeah,
Might be my
Ebola,
favorite movie.
sexually transmitted disease.
Yeah, that one is a hypothetical film about what if Ebola was an STD. It's pretty
sexy.
It's a thought experiment. It's not just a movie, it's a thought experiment. But anyway, Six String Samurai, 1998. This movie's awesome. In 1957, the bomb dropped, and the Russians took over what was America. The last bastion of freedom became a place called Las Vegas. Lost Vegas. Pretty clever. And Elvis was crowned king. After 40 rockin' years, the king is dead. Every guitar-picking, sword-swinging opportunist, including death himself, hears the call echoing across the wastelands. This is the Six String Samurai.
She
And,
told me she
that's
was
just-
18. She told me she was 18.
Okay.
She told me she was.
Yeah. That would have been a good time to play like a epic thing. Yeah, right after I. And that one was applicable because that was. Not only when I'm talking do you ever do it.
I'm just having so much
It's the
fun.
little. It's I shouldn't have let you bring the
Lord have
soundboard
mercy,
back.
I'm about to bust.
That's what she said. This movie's awesome. It's a karate music movie. And you better like rockabilly. We're huge rockabilly guys.
If the band doesn't have an upright bass and some fun hairdos and poodle skirts with tattoos, then frankly, I don't want anything to do with it.
I'm not in.
And this movie
if there
is...
aren't more leather jackets than girls, I don't want to be at the show.
I want to see more oil slicked hair than the movie Grease, combined with upright bass, trumpet maybe, and some hollow body guitars.
That upright bass player, he needs to be standing on the bass playing it at least once a song and spinning it around.
This one time at Riot Fest in Chicago, I went to see a rockabilly. I went to see in this like weird carnival tent where it was supposed to be a rockabilly thing, but it was just these men that were deep throating balloon animals, and it made me shake. I was so sick to my stomach thinking about what it would be like if one of those balloon animals popped in their throats, and I was actually really confused as to why they were doing that. And that was their whole bit, and they were just on tour throughout the United States that summer, and Riot Fest paid them to just deep throat some balloon animals, and they were rockabilly.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So they were listening to some damn fucking dick. What's that guy's name?
Watch me deep throat this alligator. Watch me deep throat this
Did
giraffe.
any pop in their throats?
No, they were successful. Thank God, but it still haunts me.
That would hurt.
I do wake up in a cold sweat frequently, and that happens to be a big culprit for that situation.
You think about a balloon animal popping in a rockabilly man's throat.
What are those shoes called? What are those shoes called that are so cool? They're so slick. They look like they could tap dance.
They're called cum slider. Cum guzzlers.
So with these cum sliders, God, they're so smooth. I wish I could afford them, but you know those things are more expensive than cowboy boots. And if you're gonna put a gun to my head and say, "Are you gonna wear cowboy boots or some cum sliders?" I'm sorry to say, no matter how much of a rockabilly fan I am, I'm gonna pick the cowboy boots.
Dum 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 dum.
Well,
So me and Will are a couple of cherry poppin' daddies. We love everything rockabilly. We have a couple poodle skirts in our collection. So this movie's right up our alleys. That's why
And
it's Will's
Suits.
favorite movie. Suits for sure. Big Suits. Big
and a samurai sword that is battle ready. So I very much related to the main character in this, who is he's kind of a Buddy Holly type, and he wants
Don't
to
speak for both of us. I am more of a machete / kunai guy. That's kind of my kit.
You like the big
I
blade.
have several kunais on me.
For all of
And I
our
have
new
a
listeners
machete.
out there, Pat is military trained and he is a weapons expert. He
All right.
has gone just if
I don't
people
like to talk about it.
I know, but
I
it's
don't
just
like to-
it's important to bring up because our last two seasons have had a lot of discussion about this, but you have been in a lot of certain situations that legally we can't necessarily talk about the details, but let's just say that he's associated with what rhymes with Neil Cream Fitz, and he might have had something
That's
to do
enough.
with taking out Laudinay,
Okay.
Audinlay,
That's enough. Will, you're
Inbay.
going too far. No. Stop.
It's so
People
true.
are gonna figure it out. I wasn't a SEAL, but I helped the Navy SEALs out. Let's say
Trained
that.
'em.
And
Trained him.
I don't want to brag. But it is applicable. I see where you're coming from, Will, because I do have advanced knowledge of fights And this movie has fight scenes
Whoa,
that
Pat.
are
I just have to
sick.
say that we do have a celebrity in the chat. We have John Stamos is in the chat, and he's asking what your body count is, Pat. John
Like how many-
Stamos, the Hollywood John Stamos. Uncle Jesse is asking you, Pat, how many bodies?
Did I kill or did I fuck? What's he want to know? Because a
John.
man never kisses. Because a man doesn't kiss and tell.
You are a gentleman. I know that for sure. Let's just say if it was a
If
video
if
game.
it's my death, if it's my kills in a video game, say I'm about 2 baker's dozen.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's so many. If I could do math,
I have a
that would
kill
be
for
it.
every letter of the alphabet. And bud, you do not want to be what A2, bud, because I got down to Z, and I don't want to start the alphabet over again. There we go. He got the timing right finally. Let's do it again. I don't want to have to make you A2, bud. So fucking sick.
Yeah. Let's just say that it's a little bit scary, but I fully trust you, and you know the times that you've brought me along, and I have gotten to witness like life leaving people's eyes and stuff. It's been a really like sort of awakening moment, and yeah.
You love tagging along when I go on missions. You love watching people die. You say it's your favorite thing to do because you can't wait to die yourself.
Something
Is that
like
correct?
that. Something like that. I can wait. I think since
You
know,
used to tell me all the time you can't wait to die.
well, since I
can't
have
wait to
found
die."
sexual kung fu, I have kind of had an altered sense of consciousness and a new point of view that
How is the halfway house?
halfway house
If you
is
didn't catch last week's episode, Will is in a halfway house. He's out of prison. He didn't family annihilate a family, but he did SWAT a family, and the SWAT team did all the heavy lifting there.
turns out I'm a serial swatter. Guilty. But it's okay.
He's
I did my
addicted
time.
to it,
I did my time.
and hopefully he's learned his lesson. But he's in a halfway house now, and he's teaching all of his brothers there sexual kung fu.
And improv. But with sexual kung fu, it's
One and
really
the same.
it's really a release, and I just have to preach its gospel because, you know, as a male myself, my social media is flooded with the algorithm saying, "Oh, you're losing your hair. Take this. Oh, you want to be like Jeff Bezos, and Dr. Drew. You should be taking testosterone and all of that stuff." And it's like, okay, do I want to take a simple pill, or do I really want to grab the problem at its root? And it's just that I've been repressed my entire life, and everybody has, really. I mean, if you have
I'm
grown
not.
up, unless you were born post 9/11 or experienced a sexual awakening yourself, you're really going to be repressed. I mean, Pat, I know I've said this before, but you have always been a huge proponent for me and influence of sort of finding myself and being able to grow, spread my wings and fly. And especially when it comes to sexual education, the things
Thank
that
you.
you've let me watch you do, and the things that you've
I am
sent me
enlightened
videos of.
because luckily by age 11 I had found homeopathy and all sorts of natural medicines, and I reached nirvana by 13.
Yeah,
So,
Patrick was actually the one to tell me that as a child he reached orgasm by taking his penis and putting it in the waistband of his pants, and then using a razor scooter, leaning himself up against the handlebar and letting the asphalt and its vibrations bring you to climax. I think that's just so beautiful.
also I was kind of fucking my belly button a little bit too. like the head of my dick would go into my belly button. So it was. I don't want to give all the credit to the gravel vibration.
Well, I can tell you this much, that it might not be a razor, it's a micro scooter, but I have had quite the similar experience. I actually do it on
That's
the
what
daily.
you call your dick, the micro scooter.
Oh, you're too much fun, Pat. But in all seriousness, I am on a daily basis. I am, rain or shine, I'm out there on the asphalt, just sort of moving myself around. And that's just one lesson in sexual kung fu. That's just one small paragraph of one chapter of the immense encyclopedia of sexual kung fu. But back to this movie, Six String Samurai. I mean, what a film. Holy smokes. A movie with an $80 million budget. And Pat, good question for you. How much money did this movie make in the box office?
You're gonna make me say this. It just makes me sad. A movie of this ilk making only $20 in the box office. This came out in '98. What was that? 4 movie tickets.
Mm-hmm.
It's just despicable.
It's disgusting, and I got a sound for it. That's the sound of a
That
kid.
is the kid.
A child crying. And it's, you know, the critics, you can tell that this movie, the Hollywood elitist deep state had it out for this film from the start. Because the critics, it's as if bots wrote it. I mean, the industry plants into the newspaper outlets, the magazines, the news reports, you know, city by city, they were trying to get this movie
The
shut
Russian
down.
bots did get to this movie. This is kind of one of the first times that Russia messed with this internet Russian bot stuff, because this movie has anti-Russian sentiment. The bad guys are literally Soviet Russians, and Russia hated this movie, so they did build up this infrastructure of bots that did all these bad reviews on IMDb and stuff. And they were in cahoots with the Hollywood. The Hollywood deep state does not pick sides. Okay, it will work with any.
They pick
global
one side,
government.
and it's called the money side.
Money.
It's called the money side. It's called what is going to fill my wallet the most and what's going to take money out of my wallet. And right at 1998, you know, this is pre The Matrix. This is, everybody knows The Matrix is going to be a huge hit. Hollywood is gearing up for it. I have nothing against the Wachowski sisters. Pat and I are huge Wachowski stans, and The Matrix is definitely one of the greatest films, if not one of the greatest films of all time. But Hollywood, it was also a Hollywood plant. I mean, Keanu Reeves coming back, Lawrence Fishburne's return. This was a big deal, and this movie would have offset this. Everything about Six String Samurai
It's
was sort of-
stylized just as cool as The Matrix, if not cooler. Came out a year earlier. The action is packed like a double stuffed Oreo. This movie isn't sexual kung fu; it's mostly kung fu. But how many fight scenes are in this? 1 million?
1.25 million for sure. It's jam packed, and well, to put it plainly, we're seeing a lot of the same styles, just without guns. So,
And that's how it should be.
The Matrix, a movie designed to sell duster coats and assault rifles
Start
to the
the-
working class.
To start the shooting epidemic. The Matrix started what happened right after The Matrix?
Columbine. Think about
And
it.
that was the first domino.
The first domino. You know, rest in peace to all of those children killed for being Christians. God, isn't it? It's like history. Nothing changes. If you want to be Christian in this world now, yeah, you might as well put 2 nails through your hands right the frick now and carry a cross up the hill and set yourself up there, because society itself are the Roman soldiers. Okay, the society itself is Judas
The
betraying
lions
you.
are loose. The lions are loose.
I mean, if you
And-
want to talk if heaven or hell is real, look around you because there's never been a place closer to hell in my life than Los Angeles, than Hollywood itself.
The trumpets are sounding, and judgment is coming for those who must repent. And you're thinking, who owns Hollywood? Oh, it's one type of person.
Certified
but
Cinephiles
don't
is
get it-
not anti-Semitic.
Thank you. And we
Just
aren't.
our disclaimer. Just a disclaimer.
We love Jewish people. We love Jewish people. It just so happens there are evil ones too, and we don't love those ones.
Just like we know that
Oh.
there are evil Christians, we're not blind to that. We're not blind to
And
that.
we are Christian. We are Christian. We don't hang cross. We don't drop cross. But we're Christian, and that has nothing to do with this. This is about making good movies, letting them make money, and not stifling true art like Six String Samurai. And if Six String Samurai got the flowers it deserved in 1998, Matrix would have come out a year later and no one would have given a frig. Because this movie rocks. And guess what? We wouldn't have any school shootings. They wouldn't exist.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust.
I would bust too if there were no school shootings. I will bust on this live stream if there are no more school shootings.
It brings tears to my eyes to
I will
think
bust
that
on here.
we couldn't just have two
I'm
perfect
serious.
films.
I will.
And seriously, chat,
Sorry.
don't tempt him because this man, a huge.
Not yet. When there's no more school shootings, I will bust live on here. But not until then.
You hear that, world? You know
hear
what,
that, John
Pat?
Stamos?
I take
Go out there and stop him. Get a time machine.
I see your hand, and I raise you this. I will let you bust on me on live stream
If there are no more
if
school
there are no
shootings.
more school shootings.
You heard it here. I will bust live on stream. I'll fly to LA to bust on Will's face.
And I'll pay for his ticket to come out here and bust on me on live stream.
I'll
there's no more
rest
school
my
shootings.
balls on his chin and bust on his forehead.
She told me she was 18. She told me she was 18.
I am more than
Okay.
18. How about that? Okay, so back to this movie, Pat. It was very
It's
much in the
about-
style of we know we have our rockabilly. I mean, this really is a love letter to rockabilly, first and foremost. Jeffrey Falcon, the guy who wrote and stars in it. You know, a lot of people. There's a lot of critics saying, "Was there even a script written? This just seems like a bunch of fight scenes." They give the child some lines, but for the most part, he's just whining. Of course, there's a of course there was a kid. Of course, there was a script.
Picture Anakin Skywalker from Phantom Menace if the big bug man who owned him hit him in the head with a lead pipe a bunch. That's kind of what this kid is. And it makes him endearing. His little pea brain makes him endearing. I kind of like him.
Yeah, the critics were like, "Okay, you made him not able to talk the entire movie, and then you just gave him like 3/4 of the way through, you just gave him the ability to have dialogue." Yeah, that's called a good artistic choice.
Yeah, all of a sudden he can talk. Oh, he's just whining through the first half of the movie, and then all of a sudden my trauma's gone. I can talk now. I love cars.
His mom does die in the first 2 seconds of this movie, so exactly.
Oh, so poetically.
Yeah.
I hope my mom dies in the same way.
She gets slain by some post-apocalyptic
mutant freaks. In wheat fields, towering wheat fields. It's
very
beautiful.
reminiscent
Like
of The Gladiator.
Yeah. Oh, hands through the wheat fields. Let me have sex with you.
But for the most part, he just makes this sound probably 1,000 times throughout the movie. And
Kid's always doing that. He's hungry.
as a human viewer, it hits a frequency that, you know, it calls a maternal instinct in all
Tugs
of
on
us.
your mom's strings.
Listen to this. He is
And
oof.
he's obsessed with cars. He's a gearhead, so I think that is the sign of him revving an engine in his brain.
He's such a gearhead that, God, he amazes me. And what a bold choice! A bold choice for these a bold choice for these filmmakers to make.
So this kid's mom gets fucking rolled in these wheat fields, but who's there to save the kid before the mutants can kill Anakin? It's the six-string samurai. He looks like Buddy Holly. He's got glasses with tape on, but he's no nerd. He knows kung fu. He beats the living crap out of these mutant freaks. They're all like, "Ah, la, 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 la." That's kind of what they sound like. And he kicks the shit out of them. And he has a guitar. It's a hollow body electric guitar. I don't know
And it doesn't
where...
need an amp. Doesn't need an amp.
No one has acoustic guitars, even though no one has any electricity. Thinking acoustic guitars would have more value. But they're all walking around with electric guitars, which is interesting.
Yeah, it has been explained by the filmmakers that the radiation from the bombs that had gone off actually, on top of giving Elvis Presley in Las Vegas supernatural powers, making him very close to a Superman type. It
Christ
also
King.
Yeah, it also created every guitar, every instrument became electric without any electricity. So
I didn't know that. That's why this is your favorite movie. You know all the lore. And it is sick. He shreds and kicks ass. And sometimes he shreds ass and kicks guitar.
speaking of, just to show our viewers,
Burpee to get day.
and let's give him a little clip. For me, this was personally the scene that left me speechless, and this is just a simple taste of what the fight scenes were like.
Roll that beautiful bean footage, Will. Jump cut. Absolutely beautiful jump cut there.
Douche.
And these are the pin pals. This is a bowling. They fight as much as they bowl.
And they have bowling pin knives. I mean, these are some tough guys. I mean, and scary. You know,
The pin pals
I had goose
are not to
pimples
be messed with.
all along my neck. I was absolutely terrified watching these guys do what they needed to do. Scared the crap out of me, but it gives you a little insight into just how badass this rockabilly rocker is.
This scene is where we are introduced to the very important arc of his drinking, which comes up. He's like, "You should have caught me after I'd been drinking." And how many more times does that come up, Will? None. So it is kind of a misdirect. I thought this movie was going to be about his drinking. He's a drunk who fights, but he literally never drinks alcohol in the whole movie after that.
Yeah,
I
he
just
realizes,
thought that
look,
was
I better be
interesting.
wise to this because everybody knows I'm going to be king and they're going to come after me. Like, they know I'm next in line.
And I got to watch this kid.
Let's hear it from him.
So the pin pals, the bowling fighters, are knockdown strike, and the kid and the six-string samurai get away in a jalopy. They get away in a little car together. But there is some mutant freaks hot on their trail, and they shoot an arrow in the back of a little boy's back.
Yeah, and then they take him to hell.
They take a little boy to hell. This little boy,
And to be honest, this little boy's a little piece of shit because he's throwing rocks.
he sucked. He was spooky. He's like, Tag, you're it.
Yeah, and it's like, where's your parents?
Where's your post-apocalyptic parents, you little pud?
See, when a child does meth, they're no longer children to me. They're adults, and they should be slain. Plain and simple.
That is one of the things I'm looking forward to most about the collapse of society. Is I want to shoot little boys with crossbows. There's going to be fair little boys out in the woods. In a video game, I want to shoot these fair little boys in the woods with a crossbow. In the back, I'll tell them, get away from me, you creeps. This is my land. I am a sovereign citizen. Get off my land. Here comes some crossbow arrows. Skadoosh.
Skadoosh.
God, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Let's just say there's a child.
My bug out bag's around here somewhere.
Let's just say there's a child. He's got an ice cream cone in one hand. He's got a cigarette in the other. And he's high on crystal meth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm immediately taking that crossbow out. I'm no warning. Skadoosh. Taking him out.
I come up. He's hitting the crack pipe. He's hitting the meth pipe in the woods. This little feral boy. He's like all dirty, disheveled. He's wearing like some shitty band t-shirt, you know? Like, what's a shitty band tee that he could be
Journey.
wearing? He's wearing a shitty Journey's tee. It's all ripped up. He's so ugly. He's hitting the meth pipe. I come up from the front. I'm like, hey, little boy, you smoking that meth? How's that meth? And he's like, and I'm like, yeah. And then he tries to run, but when he turns around, guess who's there? It's you. Yep, you shoot him through each eye with the crossbow. He looks like goddamn. It looks like he's shooting lasers out of his damn eyes.
Oh my
Fucking
god.
idiot.
That's
I hate
so
meth.
funny.
I hate little meth freaks.
There's never been a worse epidemic in this country than our children making the choice to live in sin.
I'll bust live on stream if we get America to go meth free. I will bust live on stream if we get America.
And this is what people need to realize about sexual kung fu is it's, you know, if you're wondering, oh, what supplements can I take?
I didn't even know I was doing it. I was doing sexual kung fu.
Yeah.
Oh, your teachings have they're just kind of through
Well, I
osmosis.
can tell because of your loads. And the thing is that
I have to mail you my loads. I've been mailing
and they're
Will
enormous.
my loads.
You all need to see these loads. I mean, you could cook an omelet with this thing, like an IHOP level omelet. So you're thinking, what can I possibly be doing? What can I take? Celery, drinking water, blah, blah, blah. No. I mean, sure, maybe an ounce or two you'll improve. But the reality is that sexual kung fu and the release of your chi and the release of and opening your chakras and the release of all of the stress and trauma that's in your body is going to come out when you're firing off ropes. And that's the real beauty of sexual kung fu. And it's not just for men, it's for women too. I don't have any female clients yet, but that's not to say that I won't at some point.
A lot of it's about intention is what I've learned. You got to put your energy into the bust. You know? I don't know. I got to keep sending them to you?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, as long as you're okay with it, obviously.
No, I love having you in my corner. I love that you are willing to.
I can examine, and that goes to any of our viewers out there, especially John Stamos. I can examine your loads, and I can actually tell a lot.
Home lab.
So
Will has a home lab.
You go to the doctor.
Look at he's in the home lab right now,
and you're gonna get blood work done. It's gonna tell you, oh, how's your cholesterol? Oh, how's your magnesium and calcium levels? What's your protein? How are your kidneys functioning? Yeah, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time with that blood work. You don't.
Load tells
God, you
all.
don't need it. I just need a simple sample of your load. Just, buy a quart-size Ziploc bag. Give me whatever you can in that quart-size Ziploc bag. The more the merrier, but don't hold on to it for too long. Especially, I'm talking like refrigerate, all that stuff. Contact me. I'll already send you a prepaid label.
Loads don't have the same. Will had to teach me this. Loads don't have the same rules as pee. If it's yellow, you can't let it mellow. You have to throw it away if it's yellow. Don't hold
Yeah.
on to it for too long.
And let me know. We can work that out. But enough on that. We're
He's
back
flexible.
to Six String Samurai. A movie with an $80 million budget that came out with a $20. That's all. This movie came out $20.
And if I wasn't 8 years old when this damn thing came out, I would have paid, and it would have been $25. But alas, I wasn't old enough to go to the.
But
to
that's
the
where
films alone.
things get interesting, don't they, Pat? Because there's a reason why, at our ripe young age of 8, we didn't know about this movie. And that's because there was a system in place to keep this movie out of theaters. This movie was in theaters, was never supposed to be shown in a theater, and the only reason why it made $20 was because a very small theater out in Plano, Texas, kept showing it for its first release, even though it got a cease and desist. So
that is bravery. Shout out to that theater.
And it was a
it's probably
matinee.
not still around. That is the type of shiz that we love here on Certified Cinephiles.
We get to the
movie mind.
The movie boys are going to destroy the Hollywood deep.
We get to the deep state. We get to the real shiz on stuff. And to put it plainly, this like, if you watch this movie, you can watch this movie literally for free on YouTube right now. On Palm
Just like
Productions
last week's
YouTube.
movie.
And it will tell you everything you need to know, because you'll watch this movie and it will blow your mind.
Thank God for the internet, letting these works of art out into the ether, letting us and our community watch these great works of art for free on YouTube. Freaked, 1993, Six String Samurai, 1998. These movies are out there. These are masterful works of art, and you don't know about them because somebody buried them. And we're here to tell you about them so we can celebrate what is good in the world.
We're at
and
war.
We can help. We're at fucking war.
We're at war.
We're at war with the kings and queens of glitz and glam, with the Lady Gagas and the Jim Hensons of the world.
They had me locked up, and they wanted to keep me there. And it wasn't until a very special person affiliated with
you almost family
special
annihilated that. You were partially responsible for family annihilating. That's why you were in prison.
And they kept, you know what?
In good faith, I
was
just want to tell
in the United States of
listeners
America,
what
you
happened.
can't be tried for something again. You can't be tried twice. And so I went to
Double
court, found
jeopardy.
guilty, got sent to prison. And then guess what? While I'm in prison, they're like, "Oh, there's all of these new reports, and turns out you're a serial swatter, and it turns out that we can link your IP address and all of these calls to multiple worldwide situations where people are swatted." I was like, okay, no lawyer in the world's going to help me on this one. And luckily for me,
I don't think you should continue telling this story for your
Well,
own safety.
I was given the honor of a very special agent for a very special organization came to my cell one day and said, "Look, you don't have many options, but if you help me, I can help
Well-
you." And
Well,
luckily, we have
People-
somebody in common that we know about, right, Pat?
I don't think you should be talking about this on the live stream.
I think people get the hint that I am an informant, and
No.
and Patrick is
Why?
in the game.
Why'd you
Patrick's in the game, and look,
you don't need to tell people about that stuff.
everybody that is watching. Here's the thing: at Certified Cinephiles, enough with the secrets. Okay, I'm so sick of the secrets. I'm so damn sick of these secrets. The people need to know, Pat. They need to understand that this is what we're up against. And
You're explicitly told not to let anyone know. We're lucky we still even have this podcast, okay, after the shit you've pulled. So for you to go on here and tell
they could try
that
to
you're
pry this
working
from
with
my
the,
hands.
you're working with the CIA right now, or the FBI, or whoever.
I didn't
the
say
heck you're
that.
working
I
with.
didn't say that. I said a very
You said
special
you're an
organization.
informant.
I'm
You
an
said an
informant for
informant.
somebody who
You can't be talking like.
I'm an informant for somebody that is paid to be a part of some sort of bureau that investigates. And I'm
You
not
just-
saying who it is, but thankfully Patrick is friends with people
These
that run particular
you know
companies.
what happens to FBI informants, Will? They get a Colombian neckties. They get a Colombian necktie, Will.
Hey, that sounds
know what
nice
that
because I can
is?
use a shave.
No, it's where they slit your throat and they pull your tongue out through the back of your throat and pull it out the front of your neck slit.
The Hollywood
That's what a
elitist
Colombian
deep
neck-
state.
You're not taking this seriously.
Hi everyone,
You
this is
can't
Joe
be
for Joey
telling
Super
people
Cool
you're-
Food Review.
You can't be telling people you're a FBI informant on a live stream.
Okay. God.
We're gonna have to get lawyer again. We're
I've
gonna have to
told.
get a lawyer.
Here's the thing: is that everybody I've told, I've said, "Can you keep it a secret?" And they've said yes. So, all of our listeners, John Stamos, everybody that's listening, can you please keep it a secret? I'm going to take your silence as a yes. And speak now or forever hold your peace. That is legal. I've been told by lawyers that that is proper lingo right there. If you don't say anything, then you are committing to the contract that I gave you. So I'm not worried about it. John Stamos said yes.
Whatever.
He agrees.
Whatever. As long as I don't go to prison or get a Colombian necktie, it's fine. Rockabilly is an early style of rock and roll music. It dates back to the early 1950s in the United States, especially in the South. It blends Western musical styles such as country and rhythm and blues.
Okay, enough of that. I want to get to the scene that is pretty raunchy.
Oh my God. Can we show this one? I thought you were joking when you said you were going to show this one.
I'm serious. I mean, if this doesn't brick you the frick up, hey, all I can say is you need to take some of my sexual kung fu class.
Check your pulse. If this doesn't get you hard as a rock, check your pulse.
Okay, so imagine this. You're a man of particular talents and you find yourself at the local watering hole. Well, a certain somebody takes a liking to you and no words are spoken, but they show an interest in you. They show an interest to you, They show an interest about you.
And there's one problem. You're wearing pants. Show them the footage.
I'm going to do a little teaser first because I want the viewers to know just how raunchy this gets. All right.
forgive you the bite marks on my lips. But there is
Listen to that
only
soundtrack.
one
Dude.
thing I can
Look at this
stand.
move. I'm gonna try this at the bar.
Don't call me Chris. My name is Elvis.
Oh. And you are reminded constantly that Elvis existed in this
Oh my
movie.
god. Holy
Elvis,
frick.
And it only escalates from there. I'm gonna try that that chewing gum move on someone.
It
at the
only
bar.
escalates from here, and this brings us to the scene that Pat and I agree with the critics on. And that's that this scene is edging incarnate. It gets us so down and dirty. It gets us right to the skin. It gives us
It
contact.
gets us close.
And it takes it at the same time. Oh, let's give it a watch.
I'm scared of her.
Our cheerleader is now in bed with our hero,
I'm scared
ripping his
of
pants
her.
off of him.
Only one problem. He's wearing pants. Gotta take those things off.
I'm scared
He's
of
wounded.
her.
He's dead stiff. He's
Okay,
dead
that's
stiff.
enough.
I'm scared.
He's dead stiff, but not in the way that you want him to be.
No, he's singing about that boy. He lost the boy. He wonders where the boy is, and the warmth of a lovely woman isn't gonna bring the little boy back. He knows that, yet he still indulges.
She's doing so
and
much
that's what-
work.
He's not even helping get his pants off.
Ugh, made me sick to my stomach. I had blue balls from this. My balls were so frickin'
Yeah,
blue.
I got so close.
my-
It just didn't go. I just wish it went a little further. You know what I'm
I
saying?
was so close. So in sexual kung fu, one of the methods that I teach is called ball slapping. And basically what you need to do is with a very light palm, not like you're smacking your kid upside the head, but with a very light palm, you're just going to sort of tassel your testicles. And you're going to tassel your testicles for a solid hour or so. And you're going to
stimulate. It's get them stimulated. It's like how you want to talk to your plants to stimulate them. You play them rock and roll music.
Mhm.
Just get the vibrations going, and that's one of the reasons my loads have grown exponentially.
And this movie, this scene in particular was the equivalent of giving my testes a light slap for a solid 6 hours. Never been so
And
close
it's
in my
only
life.
an hour and a half. That's how action-packed this movie is. It feels like you're slapping your balls for 6 hours, but it's only an hour and a half long.
If I was wearing a heart rate monitor right now, I would be at peak because it is something
Just
that is
thinking about it.
yeah. And you're trying to tell me that this movie flopped when it had something so beautiful, so artistic, and such a strong choice like this. I mean,
And it left you wanting more. It somehow showed too much and not enough all at once, which is what art should do.
God, that's beautiful. I couldn't have said it better myself. My God.
Thank you. This movie is beautiful, and it's kind of like the Cherry Poppin' Daddies meets Mask, meets Mad Max, meets a Kung Fu movie.
And this brings us to our God tier scene, Pat. This scene I have really mixed feelings about.
Yeah, you do?
It reminds me of our mortality. It reminds me of our fight for our goals and aspirations in life.
We didn't even mention the main bad guy yet. But he does have to do with our God tier scene. the whole time they're on this adventure fighting mutant post-apocalyptic guitar freaks and different Elvis wannabes, Death himself is on their coattails.
And he
Yes,
looks like
that was
he looks like freaking Buckethead. He is. If
he is
our
scary.
hero is Buddy Holly, Death is Buckethead, or Slash from Guns N' Roses. But I like to
He
think of
did have
Buckethead
Slash
because
vibes.
Buckethead wears a mask, and Buckethead scares the shit out of me. But this
I
guy
don't
was
trust
wearing a
Buckethead.
Willy
I
Wonka
have
ass
never-
top hat.
I hear Buckethead's music and I say I can't trust this guy. And that's the vibes that this Death character is putting off.
Listening to Buckethead brings me back to a really dark time in my life where I would seek out enemies online, usually through gaming platforms, and I would call in the authorities to their home, and that's when I was listening to Buckethead. So that's another huge reason why this movie.
So you're saying if Buckethead didn't exist, that family would still be alive. So it's kind of Buckethead's fault.
That's what I've been saying for.
That was your
months.
defense in court.
That's what I've been saying for months.
Jesus Christ.
Put it plainly.
We're not a
And-
music podcast, but we should do a deep dive on how evil Buckethead is.
I mean, God, don't even get me started there. He has, especially as a Christian, he has so many hypnotic undertones in his music. And there's, people talk about how the theme song for Lavender Town in the first Pokemon games sent kids to the hospital. And people talk about playing Black Sabbath records back. That's nothing compared to Buckethead's music. So
Put my penis in your asses.
So let's play
I
the
play in a
scene.
Black Sabbath cover band.
And keep in mind everything that we've said as we watch this scene. This is the dueling scene between our rockabilly hero and our heavy metal death villain.
And he has henchmen with arrows. Listen to that tremolo, baby.
There's our kid.
There's Anakin, who's brave but small.
Supposed to be doing something with sword.
Beautiful stuff. Wow.
Oh boy. And sure enough, the boy spits on Death and Death dies. Just like in Wizard of Oz. And the critics
And science.
were all over that, of course. Yeah, the critics were all over it. They were like, oh my God, it's just like Wizard of Oz and Signs. They're putting water on him. And he melts. He literally melts like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad guys.
So
Bad guys are dehydrated. They are like freaking ash. You just spray them with water, they melt.
like a charcoal briquette. Like a charcoal
we need,
briquette.
I'd like to take a hose to Buckethead.
Yeah, seriously.
As a Christian, I don't touch that shiz, and I just can't stop thinking about Buckethead. Sorry.
So I'm here to tell you that we have some critics, and boy, do we have something to say to them.
This shit pisses me the fuck off.
So obviously,
this
this
shiz
movie
pisses me
has
the fuck off.
This movie has a 56 on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has an IMDb score of 6.4 out of 10, largely in part because of its
Russian bots.
Yeah, after its dealings with Russian bots taking care of everything. So we have from Best Entertainment Magazine, we have Suk Kak, who wrote, "Some movies are both dumb and funny. This was just dumb and mostly boring." Oh my god.
It's Sukkak. Unfortunate name, by the way. You are an idiot. I think you're despicable. I can't believe you even know how to read or write. All I have to say to you is that's the whole point. You think living in the apocalypse is going to be exciting all the time? No, it's going to be dusty and boring a lot of the time. That is
This
what
man is
the
walking
filmmakers
from-
wanted to do.
This man is walking from one part of Nevada to another
To the
part
other
of
part.
Nevada. It's not always going to be. So he's walking, and he's got a kid with him. We're talking. He's probably. I mean, what would you say distance-wise? This movie, he's probably walking 50 miles.
It's going to take a while. It's going to be slow. All the scenes kind of just mashed together into a boring sepia-toned mist. I can't remember any specific part of the movie. The movie was boring and you're an idiot.
Yeah, go to bed.
It's a blur. Go to bed, you fucking old bitch. Living in the apocalypse is a blur. They hammered it just like what it would be. Lots of fighting, lots of rockabilly.
I'm going to say the
Lots of
exact
cunts.
same thing to you that I said to the woman that made a comment about my Joe Biden Kamala Harris shirt, and that's, go to bed, you old bitch.
Go to bed, you old bitch. We're radical libs, and we say go to bed, bitch. Radical Democrats, Christian Democrats say go to bed, bitch. If you're too old to even get what this movie was going for.
I'm wearing a Joe Biden Kamala Harris shirt, and
Yeah.
I'm proud of it. I'm
a radical Democrat, and I say go to bed, little bitch. Don't review movies anymore. Why don't you get a job going to bed, you little bitch?
There are some very serious things that I can say to you, and it would have some probably nasty implications for me because I am currently under the supervision of law enforcement.
But listen here, Sook Cock. Go ahead.
I would love to do what that guy did to his daughters in Brighton, Colorado, and I'd like to
Firestone.
I'd like
We
to
put 'em in the oil
choke you to
tank?
death, and I'd put you in the oil tanks. That's what I'd like to do. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Just make sure there aren't any
If,
doorbell cams that catch you, Will.
Yeah, these Ring cameras. Let's just say this. If you go missing, don't tell your family members to watch this podcast.
In a video game.
In a video game. No, of course, a video game. Crash Bandicoot, preferably. Let's go. All right, our
Dr. Vortex.
next review by Stephanie Scantarini from the Hollywood Cinema Lovers. She wrote, "This movie deserves nothing but hate." Wow.
I
I've
got
never-
7 words for you, you bitch.
Let's hear
You
him.
old bitch. I'm gonna skin you alive, you bitch. It's despicable. This bitch doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, you old bitch.
Pat, I can only
Ugh.
I have to say that you are absolutely burning these people to the ground. Your disses
will
are
they-
so fire right now. It's amazing.
Dude, this shiz is on fire. When will these guys figure it out, that when they are being mean to movies online and saying these things, it says more about them than it does the movies.
I truly
These
don't know.
dickheads
I truly
are
don't
old
know
bitches
if
that
they're
need to go to
even
bed.
real. Are they real people, or
They
is this?
could be Russian bots.
I got one
And
answer.
if you're a Russian bot out there, listen to this. I'm gonna pour water on you, and it's gonna electrocute you to death, just like death in this movie.
You're dust. You're dust, bud. The Hollywood elitist
At
deep
best,
state.
you're mud. We're gunning for you. You're at best, you're gonna be mud after I'm done with you.
I'm
After
imagining.
I'm done with
This is
ya.
what I'm imagining the Russian bot looking like. All right. I'm imagining.
A big pussy.
I'm imagining long brown hair. Probably double D
Yeah.
breasts.
If not bigger.
Tight waist, but it's all mechanical. It's mechanical, you know? But in like that sleek sort of carbon fiber way.
It's got a little bit of a jiggle physics
And
to it too, though.
I'm going
It's a
to be so sad when I find out that you've been lying to me this entire time. I'm going to be
You're a Russian
devastated.
bot.
I'm honestly going to contemplate whether life's worth living. That's what's going to go on in my head.
And yet we persist. And yet she persisted.
But I'm still
will
going
never
to
stop.
kick you off a goddamn seaside cliff and watch your body drop to the rocks. Absolutely, all of your limbs pop off like a goddamn Lego, and watch the seawater, take you out. Take you
Will's
out. It's gonna be
gonna
corrosive.
throw you off a cliff in a goddamn Ansel Adams photo. He's gonna drop your ass into an Ansel Adams photo. You're gonna fall to your death, rocks down in the ocean.
Black and white, high contrast, lots of oil or blood or whatever you have, whatever your filaments are, and I'm gonna
You're
be sad.
Dead.
I'm gonna be sad,
Not.
but I'm gonna be
Said
relieved
no one
that
ever.
you're gone.
I weep every because I'm Christian. I weep every time a living spirit ends, and that's why I'll be sad. But I'll be glad you're gone. And if you survive Will throwing you to the sharks, I'll pull you out, and you'll think that I'm saving you. But guess what? I'm taking you to my underground lair, where I do all my sinister behavior, and I drag you through my part of the lair, which has all sorts of tantalizing treats and fun stuff that I get to do. But I'm gonna take you past that part. You're gonna go into this other cell, and I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna induce a coma in you. Is what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep your eyes open, and I'm gonna make you watch ISIS beheading videos on coma. Not the best. Your timing, it's kind of a little, kind of loses its
I hope you all hear his
its
message loud and
emphasis
clear,
when you-
because if you think that
when you
this
do
man
the
is kidding,
sample
he is
that
not.
much. It loses the emphasis.
Okay, in our final review, a fellow friend from our Freaked episode, a critic from the Washington Post, Keith Beef.
The most accurate name of all time, because we do have a beef with you, Keith.
I almost thought he had something
you
nice
old
to say.
bitch.
I thought you are cracking me up. I almost thought he had something nice to say, Pat. But this is
Don't
what Keith
ever
said.
expect anything from these old bitches.
Keith wrote,
What'd he say?
best synopsis ever, worst execution ever.
The fuck does that even mean? He
Keith,
liked the premise, but he hated the movie. What a waste of breath, Keith.
Keith, this reminds me of how your parents felt about you, where they were excited for you as a newborn, but boy, you disappointed them in every corner growing up. Worst execution ever, writing for the Washington Post. Huh.
Keith, I'm gonna buy you and your parents tickets to live theater, and then afterwards I'm gonna reenact Batman's parents' murder on you. I'm gonna kill both your parents in an alley. That's what you're gonna sound like after I murder your parents in an alley in a Crash Bandicoot.
Speaking
video
in
game.
Crash Bandicoot terms, we're gonna light you on fire. We're gonna light you on fire.
Yeah, we're gonna light you on fire after we kill your parents, bud.
And I want to take like a wrench or some sort of like a pair of pliers to your toes in Crash Bandicoot terms. Something like that. That's really, I mean, and I think it's fair, like I'm not
Press
some sort
X to rip out toenails.
Yeah, I'm not sadistic. I don't want to see people hurt, but to me, you are not a human being. You're a subset
bot.
of humanity. Of humanity. You're nothing. You're
Press
garbage.
circle to waterboard Keith. Press circle to waterboard Keith, and I gladly press circle. I am button mashing. Rip off toenail. Waterboard. Rip off toenail. Waterboard. You are screaming. Thank you.
Well, that's it for our episode today. Thanks everybody for tuning in, popping on the chat. Thanks to shout out to John Stamos, our fellow Hollywood player
Guy.
and we
One
will
of the good ones.
we will be back in next week with another incredible episode of tearing down the Hollywood elitist deep state.
Certified
Tuesdays.
Take them